Yeah, I can see. Hello, sir.
Okay. Hi, good morning. Good morning. How are you? How are you doing today?
Yes, I'm doing great, sir. How about you?
I'm doing pretty well myself, thank you. You got a good accent there. That's good. Okay. I believe this is the very first time we are meeting over here, isn't it?
Yes, sir. This is our very first time.
In that case, would you be kind enough to tell me who you are, what you do, where you're from, and how did you end up in English, Yari? Please.
Yeah, sure, sir. I'm Sufi and speaking to you from Jharkhand.
Okay.
Currently, I'm doing graduation. I'm in last year. And yes, my hobbies are reading books and interacting with various individuals. And I'm here to improve my communication skills. My first question, how to think in English? I get this question from learners. So they ask
Okay.
me how to do it. Yeah, they always complain.
Right. So this is something I used to tell people how to, what can I say? Like whenever they say, how can I continuously speak in English or what happens? Like whenever I'm about to speak a sentence or something, I feel very nervous. And when I'm speaking currently, I'm thinking about the next sentence coming up. And I cannot really think in English. I always think in my native language and then I translate it in English. So you take a system, right? Pentium processor one, not the i7, i9 ones. Okay, you take any regular kind of systems and you use it, maybe an i3. The more load you're going to give it to that processor, right? The more pressure you're going to give on it, it's going to underperform. And similarly, that's how our brain works as well. It can definitely multitask, but we are already in a space where we are not very comfortable. We are speaking an alien language, and we might be speaking to a room full of strangers or maybe a complete stranger whatsoever. And at that point of time, if we are going to think about the sentence that is about to come up, we'll be compromising that sentence and we'll be compromising the sentence we are speaking. Okay? So, my trick about thinking in English, or something that I always tell people, is number one, avoid thinking about the next sentence. When you're speaking a particular sentence, just focus on that particular sentence. And then people are going to be like, hey, how is that possible? I don't know how to do it. So I'm gonna add on to it. Okay, I'm just gonna extend the. I think I'm gonna answer several questions from that one particular question. Okay, when
Sure.
we are completely aware, when we are completely aware about what we are about to speak or what we are speaking now, that is going to give us a good grasp, very good grasp on that particular sentence at present moment, right? And for that, you'll have to slow down a little bit. Now, slowing down is a very tough part, right? It's pretty tough because we'll always have a
Yeah.
nasal rhythm. Even for me, I speak pretty fast. Okay, so what we need to do, we
Mhm.
have to take a firm decision that it's okay. I might be speaking a little slower, but we are only slowing down to speed up later. Okay, so when you're ready to slow down, make sure you're listening to every single word that's coming out of your mouth. If I'm speaking a sentence, if I'm speaking to a person, I make sure every single word that has been coming out of my mouth is heard by me. So that process will automatically slow down our speech, right? And in the initial part, it might be awkward, but once you can hear what you're actually listening is very important, right? Listening is very important. In
Yeah.
fact, when I was speaking to you, I was analyzing how well could you listen to me, how well could you process that information, and how sensible of an answer could you come back to me with in what amount of time. So these parameters will give me an idea about your English capacity as well, right? So make sure you listen to what you're speaking. So that itself is gonna cover two aspects, right? And then once you are through, then, once you're done with it, then you can think about the next sentence, right? But this time, when you're listening to it, you're speaking in English and you're also listening the English that has been delivered by you. You're listening to your own voice, and that is going to be setting up a database around your head, right? So that is a trick. You speak a little slower, and how you speak slower, you listen to every single word that's coming out of your mouth. And once you're listening through English that has been delayed by you, that's been delivered by you, then you don't really have a problem to speak the next sentence even. You'll be slower in the initial part, but then you're going to pick up speed. And the real reason behind doing this is that you're making yourself comfortable. You're
Yeah,
optimizing yourself.
exactly.
Once you're comfortable, you will not even realize this, but you'll automatically think in English. I don't know if that made any sense. It was a little confusing, but trust me, this has been proven. Try and trust it. Okay, so I would strongly
Listen
recommend
to
to
it.
you and also your viewers to give it a try. And the initial day you're not gonna get success. Maybe try a week consistently, and that is gonna definitely help you. And there are a few other ways as well. Listening, or maybe I always recommend this to my learners. I tell them, why don't you listen to 10-15 minutes every night? Listen to a native English speaker speaking, even for pronunciation, right? Even for pronunciation, let's say you want to speak like a Britisher. In that case, you can actually listen to a native British speaker, a native English speaker from Britain, and you can listen to them continuously. But you'd have to give at least 21 days before you pick it up, right? For any solid habit to develop, it takes at least 21 days. So you listen to that consistently towards the end of the day, right? Not any part of the time. Consistency is very important, and obviously
Yeah,
commitment.
exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so first we have to slow down our thoughts so that our thoughts become clearer, like we don't have to speak in a hurry. And
Yeah,
then like for listening, we have to listen to the native speaker so that we could improve our pronunciation, right? It happens like
yeah.
automatic when we listen to them, when we listen to the native speaker, automatically some words comes into our mind that okay, about or some word. It happens when we listen. So it's really important to when it comes to pronunciation, it's very uh, we must listen to native speaker. I also realized it. So yeah. All right. My next question, sir. Huh. Well, I have seen, so you have mentioned, I think, in your profile, uh, IELTS trainer, isn't it? If
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah. I guess they
mistaken.
have added that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite fascinating. Like after ending, you had mentioned cheers. Like now, let's join. Let's have session. That was quite interesting. So,
Okay.
one of my friend is preparing for IELTS, and
Mm-hmm.
she she she's good at everything. She asked that
Mm-hmm.
how can I write essay? Like she's not taking
Uh,
help from anywhere. Like she's preparing by
mm-hmm.
herself through YouTube and
Mm-hmm.
all. So when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to essay, she's finding difficulty. How can she do it? Like how can she practice at home?
That's very interesting, because usually when it comes to IELTS, people rarely have any issues with writing, because as Indians, we always have a great command of our writing in English, because we are trying to do that, right? At school, the college, we always have essays to write, and we don't really have a problem. Usually, what people face, the difficulty they face, is when it comes to speaking and sometimes listening, right? But it's surprising that somebody has actually reached out to me for the essay part. Okay, so when it comes to essay or even a speech, I'm going to answer for both. Okay, the trick, at least what I've been using all my life, is when you're getting a topic. Let's say you're getting an impromptu topic. Let's say it's food, or let's say it's traffic, right? When we are supposed to write about it, the first thing that we have to have in mind is structure, right? We need to have an idea how we should begin, how we should end, and how we should be. That expansion. One word is enough. That one word is enough for one particular introduction, right? That's how we should begin. And then similarly, one word towards the end. Okay, so let's say food is an example. Okay, so my favorite food could be one thing to start with. Or you can say food. Most probably, everyone's going to say food is the most essential part of your life, or something like that. So you can start with that angle, and also you should understand how you should end it, right? So then you have to develop the introductory part, and then you have to develop the concluding part from those two aspects, right? The beginning and end. Similarly, what that's going to come in between, what you need to bring in between, that you'll have to decide based on your personal experience, right? Whenever you get an impromptu topic, whenever you don't have a lot of time to think about it, you should always, 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 always try to connect it with your life and how that particular word has relevance in your life. Okay, and then structure it. You've already started structuring because you know how to begin, right? And then
Yeah.
when you're stepping into the body section, the intro, body, and conclusion, three parts, right? Body section, then you can split into paragraphs, and then you can structure which things should come first. For example, if you're going to go in chronological order, let's say you're speaking about your favorite food when you were a kid, and that might change when you are older, right? And that might change when you're getting to a later half of your life and you want to eat more healthier, right? So then the parts, to state it really simple, let's say I can start off with food is the most essential part of the life, and then I'm going to go ahead and say my favorite food, and then you can talk about the best chef that you've met. It could be your mom, it could be some five-star chef from a hotel, and then you're still speaking about the food, right? And then you are pushing in, you're going ahead, and towards the end you can say what kind of a cook you are personally, what kind of a chef you are personally, and then finally, right towards the end of it, you can clearly say you're a total foodie, or maybe you don't really like food too much, depending upon your precise approach. So technically you drew a line, pointers, pointers, pointers. But based on that line, you are developing the paragraphs, developing the sentences, developing the whole story, right? So if I were you, that would be my approach. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, yeah, it did. First, we have to structure our thought, like intro, body, conclusion, and then
Hmm.
in body we can share our experience. Like when it's impromptu topic, but when we know it already, so yeah, we'll be able to elaborate it properly. So yeah, when we structure it, automatically we get an idea that how do we have to start and how do we have to end. So that really,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Now
Totally.
I don't have any questions. It's over to you. You can ask me now questions. Yeah.
Well, I'd really love to ask you a lot of questions, but I believe we are a minute and 20 seconds away from uh, wrapping up the session. I can see some timer going on. I haven't really seen this
I think
before,
two.
but
I think
okay,
2 minutes
good. No,
might be left.
okay, great, great. So my quick question is, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What are your plans? Like, would you want to pursue your career as an influencer, or would you want to find a job somewhere? And how exactly you want to take this career? And one important question, how exactly was the session? And I know I haven't really introduced myself, but I'm going to skip that part anyway because I think you've already gone through my profile, so it is not really necessary. So, how was the session? Was this any helpful? And where do you see yourself in the few years coming up? That's it.
All right. So first question is, what do I want to do? Like it is about
Yeah.
my goal, like future goal. Second, how was the
Mhm.
session? Okay. So it's 1 minute. I have to finish it. So first,
Mhm.
I want to work as an online tutor, and for that, I am working on my teaching skills. Like for short term, I want
Okay.
to work, and then later on, I would start my own business. I have a couple
Okay.
of ideas in my mind, so
All the
I'll
very
I'll do
best.
it. Okay, thank
I'm
you,
sure you'll
thank you.
do great. I'm sure you'll do great. Yeah.
And when it comes to session, it was amazing. I really enjoyed it, and you were super friendly. Um, Before the session, I was super nervous. How will I tackle? And this is my first time. Somehow, like I don't know, like I felt that I stuck and I did not give my best, but it's okay. Like not all the things will go as per my expectations. So it was uh, it was good. I learned lots of things, and I need to like watch the session again so that I could understand
Oh,
like in the what happens. I was listening, but I lost the track. Like I could not understand. Initially, you were talking about soft skills, which I could not understand. I think you're talking about me, so I need to watch it again. Yeah.
sounds good.
Overall,
Sounds
the
good. It was
session was
very okay. Thank you so much for that. I really hope you are not lying about this. You can be brutally honest about this. So, thank you so much for meeting with me. It was very nice talking to you as well. A little heads up would have been great because I would have prepared something myself in terms of speaking. And I would really like to talk to you again if you choose to meet with me, and if you want to schedule a session and then properly schedule a class, or maybe schedule a video for your YouTube channel, we can definitely do that as well. Any which way, I'll not keep you waiting here anymore. Thank you so much for meeting with me again, and I hope you have a great future ahead. See you in the next session if you choose to meet with me. Take care. Bye. Bye bye. All the best. Have a great day
Yeah.
ahead.
Bye bye. Yeah, you too, sir.
Bye.